Hello and welcome to your healing yoga today. I'm Jen Younk, in case you don't know me. And today we'll start in a seated position. You could be in a chair or on your mat or just on the floor, whatever feels right for you today. And we're just going to drop into our breath, breathing in through the nose and out the mouth. Just think about taking that deep inhalation through the nose, filling and expanding through the rib cage and the belly, and then fully exhaling all that out so that your belly deflates, kind of drawing that navel toward the spine, releasing anything that is no longer serving us. It's a good breath cycle. Welcome. Hi. We are breathing in through the nose and out the mouth. Just finding our centering and grounding. Breathing in the nose, fully expanding through the ribs and the belly. And then fully exhaling all that air out. You might even begin to just slowly rotate the upper body in whatever direction you feel guided. We're just moving slowly, sticking with that same breath pattern in the nose and out the mouth. And after a few rotations in that first direction, let's reverse. Focusing on your breath, noticing your body and how it feels at this time. One more rotation and we'll come back to just easy seated pose or sitting on our chair. Finding the length through our spine and either using the pads of our fingers or notched fingers and thumb, find the collarbones. Move down and out about an inch. Massage, tap, or thumb. You can even use fists. Think of the apes in the jungle pounding their chest in the morning. That is waking up for them, getting the energy moving forward, starting that battery pack. Same breath in the nose, out the mouth. Shake that off. I don't expect you all to pound, but I'm just giving you different options here. Come down to the sternum right there at the thymus and tap, thumb, or massage. Whatever feels right for you. Notice how that feels. And shake that off. Side seams, spleen points, responsible for our metabolizing and digesting, part of our immune system as well. Breathe. Not only does this digest our food, but also our emotions, our experiences. A lot of things the spleen is in charge of. Remember, if it's a little sore, rub it some more, unless you have an underlying condition that you know of in that spot. We're moving the lymph into the venous supply, for elimination. Remember, the lymph does not have its own pump, so we are manually doing that. Exercise helps with that as well. Shake the hands off and come to our cheekbones. Tap, thump, or massage. Breathing in the nose and out the mouth. Forgot to put my piece on. Excuse me. This will be better. Pardon the interruption. I hope everybody can hear me a little bit better. I don't know why I forgot that today. It's just one of those things. So hopefully you can hear me even better now. We were at the cheekbones, maybe moving all the way around the orbital bone. And then shaking that off. Taking 2 to 3 deep breaths to integrate the 4 thumps. And then begin. You're seated, or you're welcome to stand for our same-sided cross crawl. Brush and pause the energy to cross it over. And we'll do this about 10 to 12 times on each side. And shake off the hands. Once again, let's hover hands just over pubic bone, right there at the leg pit. Set an intention, say an affirmation, and zip those words up to seal your energy. Sweep it out into your field to be done. You can always do this before going into a crowded space. Not that we've all been doing that a lot lately, but where there's a lot of people, you just zip and seal your energy. Your intention is everything. You zip and sweep it out. And then place the middle fingers in the belly button and between the brows to hook that up. Set your energetic spine. Build confidence and cleanse your auric field. Shaking that off from seated either on the mat or the chair. Just go ahead and roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Maybe the hands are holding on to the knees. The ankles can be crossed, or you can uncross the ankles if that's comfortable for you. Maybe having a block or two handy if you need that for your knees. Always good to have any props that you find useful and helpful for your practice. Just have those handy. And so roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Move the head from side to center to the other side. Notice how that feels, and then come back center, side 1, center, and side 2. Pause here for just a moment, a breath, and return to center. Let's slide one hand out, reach the opposite arm up. Now, if this is uncomfortable, you can always place a hand here or just lift that elbow to where it will go. Doing what we can just for today. Come into this side stretch and back to center. Other side, reach. Same options here. Lift and reach. Breath still in the nose, out the mouth, or in the nose and out the nose. Whatever feels best, go with your own gut instinct, what feels best for you. Let's do one more round of these side lengthening stretches. Last time here. And then we'll return center. Let's again roll the shoulders. Now I'm uncrossing my ankles. And I'm just going to go into a gentle, easy seated twist to one side. Unwind, taking that to the other side. Come back to center. Sit up tall, flexing through that front foot. Let's weave the arms overhead. As we come back down, we're going to hinge. Lead with the navel. Just walk the hands out. Find your edge. Pause in that place where you're feeling a really good hip stretch. Breathe into that. And then walk the hands back, keeping that foot flexed. Now, if you've got a sash or strap handy, you may want that. We're going to have it to the side. I'll lift up that knee and cradle a little bit. Now, if that doesn't feel good for you, you can just kind of hug that in, have the foot down, and move the torso. Otherwise, you can just rotate knee and hip. Just moving that hip bone around in its socket. And then option here to pendle this leg. Now if you have a strap, you could fully extend that leg, holding on to the strap. I just place my forearm in here and maybe begin to pendle that side to side. Flex foot, you're going to get a great stretch through that calf and hamstring, the back of the leg. Breathe. And then rest that leg down. Place the strap to the side. Weave the arms overhead as we come forward over the outstretched leg. And breathe. Full deep breaths here. Slowly make your way up. And then this time, weave your arms, hinge down, bring that same side arm as leg is outstretched just to the inside. Maybe make that little hold connection between knee and ankle. Lift that top arm up, or just the elbow. We're extending over that leg, deepening this side stretch through the obliques, these muscles right in here. Breathe. This should feel good. Doing what we can for today. Either gaze downward or just out to the side. the shoulders. Bring this foot in, closest to the leg, but the other foot comes out, and we flex through that as we sit up tall once again. Lift the hands, weave, and hinge. Again, leading with the navel. Walk the hands out. Now maybe you're sitting in a chair and your legs or feet are on the floor or mat. You can come down and just fold into your lap this way. Maybe holding on to the sides of the bottom of the seat of the chair. Breathing here. And then slowly walking the hands back. Foot is flexed. And we'll cradle here. Same options from the chair, seated. And just lift one leg. And rotate that hip around. Or just simply drawing that in. And then we'll pendle. Maybe using the strap, or maybe you have longer arms. Flexibilities vary from all of us. And then we'll hinge. It's always nice to have this supporting prop here. We've got that dynamic tension, that push-pull from either side. So I'm just holding my elbow in that 90-degree angle, helping to support this leg being pendled. Breathe. And then we'll place this leg down. Set the strap to the side. Weave. Remember, weaving helps clear our space, cleaning our own personal space. Let's hinge and attach here. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, sink a little further. If you need a block beneath this opposite knee, you can just slide that there for extra support. And slowly come back up. And then this time, we'll weave the arms. Same side arm as leg extended comes to the inside. Reach up, open the elbow, lift through that top side waist, and then extend or lengthen over the long leg. Breathe, just kind of gazing beneath that armpit, and breathe. Inhale your way up. Roll the shoulders. And let's extend both legs now. Point and flex through the toes, through the feet. Flex toes back toward our shins and point. Once more. And then we'll weave, hinge, and attach. Gaze forward. Exhale to sink in. Now with your strap, once again, we'll do our back scratch exercise or test. Also, Gomukhasana or the cow face pose. So with one arm, slide that up, reach the other behind, maybe walking the fingers up that little strap. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. So we want to avoid doing this scrunching. We're lifting through the crown, so wherever the hands go, we just find that spot and breathe. Feel the opening through this side waist all the way up the arm and around the other side as well. So we'll take a couple more breaths from here. You don't have to be kneeling. You can be sitting back, easy seated pose, or on the chair, or standing. So I'm going to move to standing for the moment. Slowly release. Roll the shoulders. Take the other side. Back. And the same thing. If able, draw that raised elbow open or back as you can. Walking the fingers toward each other and breathing. And then release. And roll the shoulders. Let's move the head side to side. So now we're going to get into just a little bit of movement, a little more movement, standing and such, or seated. We could do some seated jumping jacks here. You could also stand and do those, but I don't recommend it. It's a little hard on the knees, but this coordinated movement pretty good. You do 7 to 10 of these, moving through the arms. Do you want to make it bigger through the arms? By all means, do that. And we'll do 3 more. Roll the shoulders. Rolling the shoulders just helps to remind us to draw them back and down and away from our ears, so that we can release some of the tension in there. Next up, we'll do some sweeping lunges. I just hit my earpiece, so I apologize for that. So standing tall. We don't have to come back very far. I just want to show you a little bit. You can come back to here. Take the arms out to our sides. This is kind of what it looks like. You can step wide. A wider stance helps with your stability. And then you can step forward, maybe tapping the toe down, or perhaps lifting the knee, or a little bit of balance. And we'll do that alternating sides. So we'll step back here, and then forward, maybe lift that knee, and come back down. And back. Slide forward, lift, and down. Other side. Slow and steady. Doing what we can just for today with no expectation and no judgment on our balances. Balance changes from moment to moment. do one more to each side. Focusing right at the horizon with your gaze helps to keep our balance. And down, coming into mountain pose. As we stand here in our mountain pose, drawing that energy up from the earth through the soles of our feet, let's sweep the hands behind our back, palm over palm, and right behind the belly button. So belly button, we all know where our belly button is. So on the back side, just place those palms there. Hormone balancing. And soften the knees. We're going to take these circles about 3 times one direction and then 3 times the other. It's called the penetrating flow. We'll sweep the hands forward, backs of the hands, palms, backs, palms as they zip up the front line, cup over the mouth, 3 audible exhales. Resting the hands over heart center. Stand tall, open to heaven rushing in, releasing anything that is no longer serving us at any capacity. We release it, we breathe it out. We're in gratitude for what we're receiving now in the form of renewed energy. Gathering the hands to heart center. Back in that chair, we'll go into heaven connecting earth. One palm up, the other one down toward the earth. Sit down and reach. Once again. Last round here. And hands come back to heart center. Let's open to heaven rushing in once again. Ready to receive. Breathe it in. And then fully exhale. Keep the arms down, roll the shoulders. Now let's do our unscramble the energies. This is called the schoolyard hookup. Crossing one ankle over the other. It doesn't have to be a tight cross. Making sure that we are stable in that position. And the next one, crossing over the rest, maybe turning that upside down or simply crossing at the wrist, bringing the palms together. If that is too cumbersome or awkward, just cross the wrists right at heart center. We'll take about 3 to 5 breaths here. Notice the crossover pattern. Lots of crossover patterns help keep us humming along at 100%, or bringing us back to that anyway. Unwind the hands and switch the cross over here, whatever works there, and then we'll switch the cross of the ankles. 3 to 5 breaths here. here, come to a star pose. We're going to go into a moving balance. It's not as challenging as you might think. Shooting star. So we might lift up a leg, go to the other side, lift and down, lift and down, lift and again down. Now you might just hang out and test your balance a little bit. Let's move from side to side into that shooting star. We'll do it just one more time to either side. Back to standing, shake it out. Now from our chair here, go into an airplane pose or warrior 3, so we can have our full arm here or the forearms, whatever feels right for you. Lifting one leg up. If you have your full arm extended, you can press down and push up. If you have your forearms down, you can lift that leg up, maybe send the crown of the head down a little bit more. And we're going to bend and lengthen that lifted leg 3 times. That's 2. And lengthen. Squeezing through that glute. Bend and lengthen. Release down. Take a deep breath. Side 2. Lift that airplane or modified warrior 3. Again, you can always have the forearms down. Bend and lengthen. Bend and lengthen. Bend and lengthen. Release down. Maybe with this forearms or the full arms down, let's do some cat-cow stretches. Tuck chin to the chest. Draw your shoulder blades away from the spine and then draw them together as you come into that back bend or cow pose. Pelvic tilt forward into that cat, and then we come into that back bend or cow pose. A few more times there. Breathing all the while. And then we'll slowly back up, weave our way over, our arms overhead, and then come to standing once again. Now for another balance here. If you have something other than a chair that you'd like to use for this dancer pose, it's kind of a back bend one, and a strap sometimes can be more of a hindrance here. If you have flexibility to reach your ankle, you can do that. Or you can shorten that strap, pull that up, hinge forward, place a hand down for support here. Have something handy that you can place your hand on for balance and support. So we're keeping the chest lifted. Again, if you can reach our ankle, I realize not everybody is the same level of flexibility. Shorter arms, longer arms, we're all different. So doing what we can just for today. 2 more deep breaths. Good stretch through that front quad and a back bend as well. And then release from there. We'll come to side 2. And do the same thing on side 2. Make sure your chair is stable. Don't do what I just did there. You want to place a hand here and maybe come down, that up. Find your stability. Ground down firmly through that sole of the foot. Lift through the crown. Maybe lead with the heart center. Breathe. And then release. Coming down. Now to either seated on the chair. If you'd like to sit on your mat, that's fine too. We can do that either place. So with this, if you're sitting on your mat, lengthen out the legs to your staff pose or Dandasana. Seated in a chair, let's just cross that right leg over. So on the floor, you're going to cross that right ankle over, and we'll hinge. Lead with the navel as we come forward, working on opening the hips. Foot is flexed here. Very important. That helps protect our knee. And we don't want to sickle or pull this ankle around so this arch comes toward this inner ankle. We want to keep that straight so we don't overstretch those tendons. Breathe here. Notice how that feels. And then come up to seated. Cross that leg over. Take that hand to the outer thigh. And then come into a twist here. Sit up tall and soften your shoulders down. Breathing all the while. Unwind, uncross, extend, point, flex, sweep, weave, hinge, come to the forward fold, breathe. And slowly make your way back up to go to the other side. So we flex and cross that opposite ankle. Sitting up tall, breathing. Slowly leading with the navel. Hinge. Find your edge where you're feeling a really good stretch, but it doesn't hurt. We never want to go to the place of pain. Just recognize the signs your body is giving you, the signals, and listen to those signals. Many times it's a good signal. Breathe. And then come back up. cross this leg over and go into that twist. The other direction. Hand on the outer thigh here. And then unwind back here. Now we can take a modified child's pose here as we hang, or we can come down onto our all fours and then go into our child's pose here. Whatever works for you. Take about 5 deep breaths here. Slowly making your way up. If you have glasses on, you may want to put those aside for a moment. And we will come up to our knees. We're seated on the chair. Vigorously rub the palms together, warming the hands. And then just place the heel of the hand or the cheek, covering the eyes. And then bring elbows down, just below the wrist. Head is supported in the hands. Being with head heel takes a lot of attention out of the body. 80% of tension comes in through the eyes, so this goes a long way for releasing tension. If we're sitting in a chair, you just simply take this position. Deep breaths. When you feel complete, slowly make your way up. You're on the mat. Just draw your knees to your chest. In the chair, we can do the same thing. Maybe one or both knees. Or again, just one at a time. Just hugging that in. Whatever works for us. Maybe the heels are out. Whoops, probably not that way. And our back sides. So as we come onto our back side, bring your knees to our chest, rolling gently side to side. Placing the feet down on the mat. Bring the arms along the sides. Bend the elbows. Dig in through the heels here. And slowly lift the hips up just a few inches. And then come back down. Now with the chair, so we're just going to do that a few times. From here, on the floor. If you need some little lift with feet, you can use the chair or the rail below the chair. Maybe lift a little bit. Use some of those leg muscles. Lift. Again, fingertips point to the sky. This just helps to support our upper back, spine, and shoulders, staying in alignment here. Last time. And then coming down. Bringing the arms actually out to a T, goalpost, or to that W. Many times in this position, you'll notice the backs of the hands kind of float above the floor. And that's because we spend a lot of time either on a computer or phones, whether it be driving, sitting, whatever we're doing, we're kind of closing in. So we're working to open a little bit here. Breathing. Knees are bent, feet hip-width apart. Allow the knees to fall to one side as you gaze over the opposite shoulder. Come back to center and take that to the other side. Center, side one. Center, side two. Return to center. Now at this time, I invite you to either take recline cobbler's pose, maybe have a blanket you can cover here. And we'll just stay here for a minute or so. That opening through the inner thigh, adductors, groins. You might want your blocks either side of your outer thigh to help support here. And then let's keep those backs of the hands maybe just floating above the earth, palms facing up. Notice the sensation in your body as everything slowly releases into gravity. As you feel ready, using the hands to bring the knees back together and give yourselves one more hug, knees to chest. Deep breath here. Holding on to your knees. Let's do a big circle in the shape of the heart. Come down to that point. Zip up, open and circle each knee down. And zip up once more. Circle. Now down at the bottom, knees together. Let's circle up and around. Down. Circle up, around, and down. One more time. Circle up happy baby. Release low back, holding on to our ankles, outer blades of the foot. And if you're feeling the bottom of your foot right where the balls of the feet are, pulse that point in between the second and third toe. A wellspring of life, a kidney point, good ones to massage. Press down there, draw the knees toward your armpits. You'll notice a little low back release here. Breathe. And then finding your resting position for the next couple minutes for Shavasana. Anything goes here, whatever you like. Some suggestions or options. Back traction pose. Take that block right to that triangular bone. It's not in the small of the back, not in the low back, but a little bit further down. You can also use a blanket or a ball. And you could hang out here with your wings open once again, further opening through that heart center. You can have a seat in the chair, or you can simply just rest however you see fit. Taking this time with a still point for transformation. All transformation happens only in the still point. Beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes, fluttering your eyelids, and gently rolling to one side, just opening your eyes and coming to seated if you aren't already there. let's turn our palms up. Gather the energy we've created in this space, in our own personal space today, and place it in our heart center to take with us for the rest of the day. Thank you all for joining me today for this practice. Namaste. Take care, everybody. Thanks.